Greenland is being offered two options: to be sold or to be annexed. This is naked imperialism. The government of Greenland has made very clear that they will work with the US in any way that is necessary to protect our security and that of Europe's. But I'm afraid that beyond vague diplomatic assurances of diplomatic activity and claims of being hard-headed, as a result of today's statement, I am not any clearer on what the government is doing to keep us safe from these tariffs, but more importantly, to protect our security and the sovereignty of Greenland.
Foreign Secretary.
Well, what I would say to the honourable member, and I would be, actually, to be honest, I am surprised at that question from her, because she does have experience around foreign affairs, and she knows the way in which the diplomatic discussions take place and the urgency with which those discussions are taking place right now. She will understand the importance of those discussions. She will understand the importance of the collaboration with our allies and partners and the way in which those discussions take place. She will also have seen the results of taking a similar hard-headed and robust approach in previous issues and the previous discussions that we have taken and will continue to take forward. What I would also just say is that the people of Greenland, we have seen the protests on the streets in Greenland, we have seen the strong views expressed as well by the people of the Kingdom of Denmark more widely. We will continue to support them and their sovereignty.
Sonia Kamal.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. The 2009 Greenland Self-Government Act, Chapter 8, Section 21, states decisions regarding Greenland's independence shall be taken by the people of Greenland. Therefore, no external coercion should be applied to their people. What steps is my right honourable friend taking with our European allies to ensure that the Greenland's Self-Government Act is respected and that no major power can pressure the Greenlanders over their constitutional status?
Well, I welcome my honourable friend's point, and this is exactly why my colleague, the Europe Minister, has been in touch with the Greenland Foreign Minister, and why I had many discussions today with the Danish Foreign Minister about our support for the sovereignty of the people of Greenland. It is for them to decide their future as part of, and for them and the Danes side by side to decide their future, and not for anyone else.
Martin Wrigley.
Deputy Speaker, I welcome the Foreign Secretary's approach, saying we should be working with our allies. I fear that Donald Trump does not agree with her, however. What is the government doing to harden our infrastructure? We are heavily dependent on several American IT systems. For example, Palantir, which is controlled by Peter Thiel, who is well into the coterie of Donald Trump's administration. We've seen with a sanction that they could switch off Microsoft providing services to the International Criminal Court. Will the government look into making Palantir not a single point of failure in our critical systems, in the health service, the defence and cabinet office, and now police?
Foreign Secretary.
Well, I can tell him that we do take immensely seriously all issues around critical national infrastructure. We do have long-standing areas, for example, in our security and intelligence Five Eyes partnerships, which do involve technology partnerships which go back very many generations. And in fact, I remember some of my first meetings with Five Eyes meetings in the US on this in over 25 years ago, and that technology and partnerships have strengthened since. But he is also right to say that we should look at key areas where critical national infrastructure needs to be strengthened as well.
Alex Sobel.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I want to associate myself with the Foreign Secretary's statement that the future Greenland is a matter for the Greenlanders and the Danes and them alone. We all know that the geosecurity of the High North is because of Russia's threat to NATO. I'm really pleased you went to Norway last week, because in fact we have 2 Russian bases on NATO territory in Svalbard. What discussions did she have with her Norwegian counterparts about the possibility of ending the Russian presence on NATO territory in Svalbard?
Foreign Secretary.
Well, he's right to highlight the issues in the High North being about the Russian threats, and this has long been the case, but we have seen those threats grow. There was a time at the ending of the Cold War when I think everyone was optimistic that this might fundamentally change, and sadly, many years on, that has proven not to be the case, and it is why this partnership between the UK and Norway is crucial, and it's crucial for our security, but it's actually crucial for the security of the whole of NATO and of many of our allies as well. I can assure him we keep a range of issues under discussion.
Danny Kruger.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. The Foreign Secretary is, of course, absolutely right to insist that the future of Greenland is a question only for the people of Greenland. Does she acknowledge, though, that this crisis is the consequence of our weakness, of decades of failure on the part of Europe and the UK to invest in defence, and indeed a historic failure of statecraft on the part of the United Kingdom that saw one naval officer attend Greenland and have the consequence of 10% tariffs imposed on us? So she mentions this conversation she had in Scandinavia last week. Did she offer to do more than simply cooperate with our partners and neighbours, but to actually lead in the defence of Greenland by committing a proper joint expeditionary force led by the UK with the proper commitments to ensure the safety of Greenland?
Secretary.
Can I just say to the honourable member that the biggest threat to Arctic security comes from Russia. Yeah. And he would have a lot more credibility in talking about any of these Arctic security issues if he and his new party would actually look inwards at themselves and do the long-needed investigation into Russian influence in their party.
Kerry McCarthy.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. I welcome the Prime Minister's strong response and the assurances we've heard from the Foreign Secretary today. She quite rightly made clear that Donald Trump's claims to need to possess Greenland for security reasons are complete and utter nonsense. The US already has access, and she talked about a multilateral approach to Arctic security. There is also the critical minerals element, which I suspect is also a great deal to do with his interest in the country. Can she say what we're doing to have a similar multilateral approach to critical minerals as we seek to divest from Chinese reliance?
And Foreign Secretary.
My honourable friend is right to raise there's the broader issue around critical minerals. You know that many of the issues around Greenland are long-term issues as opposed to immediate critical mineral issues. But there is a wider thing about ensuring that we have security around our critical mineral supply chains and needing to work with other countries to prevent any country having a chokehold around the supply of critical minerals. That is crucial in some of our issues around new green technologies, but it's also crucial more widely on our economic prosperity and economic security for the future.
Ben Spencer.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. All relationships, especially special relationships, need a foundation.